Welcome, everybody. We are here for the Armor Up podcast. This is a brand new podcast that we are starting here at BioBalance that will help you get ready for each and every day, that will help you get ready for your life. Because let's face it, sometimes we feel like we are pulled in many different directions. Yes? Do you feel like you are sometimes stretched too thin? And the tendency when we feel we're stretched too thin, we go into overwhelm. And then we feel like we're pulling our hair out. And then with everything in our life that's happening, we don't feel like we can juggle it with success. Do you ever feel as though you're juggling 10 different things and you're failing at each and every one of them? Many of my clients have come to me for food behaviors, and we found that the juggling of life was sabotaging their efforts to get their food life course corrected, to where they felt like they were nourishing themselves instead of fighting the diet, fighting the scale. I have other clients who come to me that through the juggling of all these areas of life, they're wanting to build a business so badly, but they can't seem to make time for their business because they're juggling everything in life. And so they feel like they're failing at not only those areas of their life they're juggling, but also failing in building a business. And you know, it really does all come down to our patterns, doesn't it? Our patterns, our behaviors, our habits, whatever label you want to put on it. It's never about the food. It's never about not knowing enough to build a business. It's not about not knowing how to exercise. It's not even a thing, right? It's never about a thing. It truly has to do with some very important factors of how we are showing up, how we are living our life. And you know, I never paid much thought to this until I ran into the food issues I had myself. And I sought out an eating psychology coach. And, you know, I'm in the health arena, right? I'm a personal fitness trainer. I work with nutrition all the time with my clients. What is this? Why do I have this issue? And so I went and studied it, went to the Institute for the Psychology of Eating to determine what is really going on here. And it's never about what we think it is. It's always about how we're showing up, and our habits that we put into play day in and day out, our patterns, our behaviors all play a role in how we show up. So today I want to give you 3 things that you can do, that you can add into your way of being, that will help you get out of that overwhelmed feeling, get out of that feeling like you're stretched too thin. You can't get it all done because there's just not enough time. And if you feel like a failure, these 3 things could help you get out of that failure pit because you're not a failure. You're not a failure at all. You just simply have something that's happening in your life that you just really don't know where to put it. Where to put it so that your life can go smoothly and in the direction that you want. As you're moving along, I know that we are live in Facebook right now. And so if you're watching us in Facebook, it is so wonderful to have you here with me. And put comments in that area of Facebook where you can make comments on and share what your experience is when you're stretched too thin. Share your experience of that overwhelmed feeling like you're knee deep in muck and you can't get your feet pulled out of it. So what we're looking at here is our energy, the vitality, that life force within us is being drained right out of our body. And that's why we feel like a failure, is because we don't have any energy. We don't have any drive in order to do a course correction. So first, let's just start by changing the way you are showing up each and every moment, right? I found 3 things. People want to level up in their life. They really do. They want to grow. They want to expand. They want to do something new and exciting. But what keeps us from doing something new and exciting is that safety that we feel in our life right now. Because growth, leveling up, is uncomfortable. And we're hardwired to be comfortable. We're hardwired for security, for safety, to feel safe. And growth doesn't feel safe. Growth hurts. And pain is registered as not safe. Therefore, I need to stay exactly where I am. And it's so fun because I was just speaking with a client just a little bit ago, and that's where she was saying, you know, I came from that place where I just wanted to stay where I was, or I ended up staying where I was because it was uncomfortable to move forward. It was uncomfortable to grow, and I didn't know how to do it. So I just stayed put. So how many of you out there are staying put, whether it is in the health of your body, whether it is in your relationships with family or friends, your vocation, what you love doing, how you serve? How about financial, your investments, right? How is it? How is this pattern showing up for you that's keeping you stuck and staying still and not leveling up? I have found that being present and mindful helps to level up in life, helps you to grow, helps you to see what the next step is. And so what does mindful looking like? What does mindfulness look like? Many people go, mindfulness, I'm mindful, I'm right here, right now. Well, mindfulness is when we use our senses to ground us in the moment. So you can pick 3 senses that you want to be at the forefront. And it could be what you're looking at, what you're hearing, and what you're feeling against your skin. Allow yourself to be with those 3 senses, taking in all that information, how the senses collect information. Allow your senses to collect that information for 30 seconds. Do that right now. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? And what do you feel against your skin? For 30 seconds, just be with those senses. Be very present. And I'll go quiet so you can be in tune and mindful. Yes. Now, take a breath. Big, deep breath. How did that feel for you to take 30 seconds, a 30-second break, and only take in what you see, what you hear, and what you feel against your skin? Didn't that feel good? To just pause, that's a mindful moment. And when you can stack another 30 seconds on that, and then another 30 seconds, and another 30 seconds, that is when you are going to feel the slow. You'll feel your body shift. So remember I told you that feeling that our body, that we're hardwired to feel safe, right? And to grow is a stretch for us, therefore it doesn't feel safe. So our body, our brain brings us right back to center by telling us we can't do it, we're not good enough, or we don't know enough information to be able to be successful. And it just keeps us rooted, right? So that's where that negative self-talk comes into play for us. Well, in the sensorial resilience, when you are in mindful moment, which is called sensorial resilience. Isn't that fun? When you're in a mindful moment and you are in tune to those senses, you have slowed down and put yourself into a state of what we call rest and digest. And when you attend the 3 Brains Vitality Reboot, it's a free event I'm holding this month. in a Facebook group called 3 Brains Vitality Reboot, I'm going to teach you more about that rest and digest mode and what all happens that's so powerful in your body and what you can do with that in order to become more leveled up, have an even greater growth. So in this mindful moment, you want to stack on 30 seconds each time that you do it so you can grow and be in rest and digest mode longer. What that is going to do for you is it's going to slow you down so you can see your next step, get a greater sense of what it's going to look like. You're going to be rested, clear-minded, so that you can not juggle your life, but you can participate and engage in every one of those areas of life that you are juggling. Doesn't that sound fun? So stack on those mindful moments and interject them into your life so that you can feel so much more energy in your life and the motivation and inspiration to participate and engage in your life. It truly is about being in the moment and being present. Truly. And you will gain so much energy from that, and you will gain a pathway for yourself to participate more fully in your life. No more overwhelm, no more juggling life, no more feeling like a failure when you can just be present. Yeah. So the second thing I wanted to bring your attention to today was to live well. And I'm not going to go into this one really deep because in the 3 Brains Vitality Reboot, we cover this really deep. And when we're living well, we feel well, right? Would you love to feel well? To have the energy, to have the gumption, to have the strength and vitality it takes to engage and participate in life? Would you love to have that? Put a yes in the comments if you would love to have that. I'd love to know. Would you love to have that energy and that vitality? And in having that, we live well. And we feel well. And when that is going on, we have this brain called the gut brain. And it is in our gut area under the mucosal lining of the esophagus and the intestines, right? And when our gut brain is awake, that is when we live well. And I want to share more of that with you, but there's so much detail that goes with that. All I'm going to tell you today is this: catch the angel train and go to sleep. Go to sleep at 10 p.m. so that your gut brain can get to sleep as well, and your body can be nourished through the night, do all the transformation and clean out that it does at night. And then the next morning, you can start eating as the sun rises again. And then at 2 p.m., so you want the bulkier calories before 2, and then after 2 p.m., you don't eat until 5. And then from 5 to 7:30, have your lightest meal of the day. And then no more eating, so you catch the angel train on an empty stomach at 10 p.m. That is the beauty of the gut brain, is it is in alignment with the sun. The way that it operates is in alignment with that circadian rhythm. And so when you are in rhythm, your gut is in rhythm. And as we know from all of the news and things that we see on social media, people are talking about the gut brain more and how our immune system comes from our gut. The strength and vitality of the immune system comes from the gut. So if your gut brain is not awake when it needs to be awake and not sleeping when it needs to be sleeping, then you may find that there's some digestive upset. And by that, it's like you have, you feel indigestion or you have bloating. How many of you out there are experiencing bloating and it's driving you nuts because you feel like you are eating everything that you're supposed to eat? It's live foods and you feel good, but all of a sudden you are bloating 15 minutes, 30 minutes after you eat. So that has to do with the gut brain. So attend 3 Brains Vitality Reboot, and we can help you get that into alignment. This is a free event, y'all. It's 3 days, 1 hour each day, and it's a full of details and information for you so that you can live well and feel well. Yes, yes, yes. So check out the details of that. I'm going to put it in this, on the Facebook, Ashley's BioBalance Facebook page where you're watching this. I'm going to put that all in this post where you can go and join that group so that you can be in on that at the end of the month, right? So stay in tune for that. Now, take a breath with me. Take a deep breath. Yes, you are living well. You feel well. When we bring in more oxygen, we feel well. So get more of this information. Do these 2 activities that I shared with you today. They are so huge in leveling up and feeling well. And I truly believe that these 2 things are going to change things for you. So mindful moments, I'd stick it in a couple of times a day, right? And then also the circadian rhythm. Start getting to bed, catching that angel train at 10. That is your home play, right? Is to catch that angel train by 10, because it's no fun to feel sluggish and lethargic the next day, because that adds to the juggling your life. That adds to feeling like a failure. It adds to the overwhelm your brain begins to feel. If your brain is fatigued, it's going to feel overwhelmed, right? So join me on this endeavor to level up and feel well, and you will. All right, leave all your comments that you have for me in the comment section, and I will get right back to you, or message me privately if you would love to have a private conversation. So yeah, thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to the next time we are together here on the Armor Up podcast. I will see you soon.